Creed's journal entry number 7. It's been a few days since my last entry. Yesterday was a lot. Travel had gone fairly well. No encounters, no injuries. Well, Signe stepped in some kind of bug's nest or hive.
I hope your leg heals, cousin. It would be a shame if we would have to cut it off. You would likely not survive in that situation.
Mads, I seriously doubt that we're going to have to cut my leg off.
I'm just saying, making conversation, as it were.
But other than that, all was going well enough. Until we happened upon a clearing and encountered a cat person. No one in the group took a liking to the fellow.
You will know I am a half man and half pussy.
It seemed like everything he said could be taken in a promiscuous manner. So Madge finally ran him off.
He's immediately going to say, "Well, gotta go, deliver package, bye," and take off running away from you. He's headed further down the road.
Ugh. Nasty.
As it turns out, apparently these cat people deliver messages from town to town. Kind of an interesting idea. I wonder if I could send a message back to my family back home. It's probably not worth it if all the cat people talk the way this one did. Anyway, one such town that he was delivering messages to was built around an old giant's outpost. There was a large watchtower in the center with a makeshift arena inside.
You gonna stay for the big fight tonight?
Big fight?
What is fighting?
Oh, people challenging our champion. It's a weekly event. It's how he really makes a living and how he earns his housing here. We let him stay for free as long as he's gonna fight people. It brings a lot of people here.
Madge agreed to step in for a round, and he went head-to-head with a Cyclops.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our new champion, Mads from the North!
All the while, Firdaus had smoked some rather potent herbs and found himself a little loopy.
Firdaus, you feel the mountain below you just collapse like it did when it was on the elevator, but this time it goes so fast and you're just in a free fall.
It feels like I'm falling, but I'm actually like jumping up in the air, and I'm going to wild shape into a warhorse and start neighing and like flipping and flopping all around.
By the end of the night, he passed out and things began to calm down. Mads only took a small portion of his winnings after beating the Cyclops. And as I was writing some tunes with the locals, I noticed Signe found something wedged up high in the bricks of the watchtower. Some kind of paper note. So yeah, yesterday was a long day. Here's hoping we can relax a bit this morning. Until the next entry, this is Creed, signing off.
Time to Die Podcast Network presents The Giant's March. The road is long, but the world is small.
Did we ever get the name of this town?
You know what? I was gonna give you the name through the cat centaur, but then you guys tried to kill him. So
The world's worst NPC. Fuck that NPC. I don't ever need to know this city's name if that's the only way I get to find out.
Yep.
as far as you guys know, it's just the Watchtower Village or something.
Good. I'm into it. If the only way I can find out is by talking to that character again, I'm fucking good.
We walk past the sign on the way out. Welcome to the city of Pussy.
Oh my god.
Don't give him any ideas. Oh my god.
Well, luckily for him, we won't have to have any more ideas because I'll quit after that.
You guys would have gleaned that it's the Eliwick Watchtower. It would have been written somewhere or spoken somewhere. Anyway.
Writing it down.
I don't know if that'll be important to you, but there you go.
And how do you spell watchtower? No, I'm just kidding.
Movement Watchtower.
What?
This episode is sponsored by Movement Watches. MVNT.
Is it?
No, good heavens.
I was about to say, is that a thing that happened, or are we getting paid now?
We're not that big. Alright, I'm gonna kick this off with, Firdaus, roll me 2 d4s.
Okay.
One and then the other.
Now I get to flex my picking up a D4 capabilities.
Weird flex, but okay.
First, I have to flex being able to find a D4. So, for the first one, black or yellow?
Black.
Okay, so a 1 and then a 2.
Okay. Did you guys spend the night in the Watchtower?
I believe so. Although, Firdaus would not have any sort of say in the matter, being how fucked up he was.
Fair. You guys wake up the following morning, and it is a mildly sunny day. The sun is coming through the whatever is left of the beams of this old watchtower up in the ceiling rafters, and there are people, just little gnomes and people that were traveling through that slept on some of these makeshift bleachers. And Signe, roll me a con save.
God damn it, okay. 24.
Every morning, you have been monitoring these horrible bug bites that you got about 3 days ago. And as you check your leg this morning, as you wake up, it seems like they very much subsided. It's almost like, there's some little spots, but it doesn't even itch anymore.
Okay, cool. She's gonna take that for granted, because I'm sure that won't come back to bite me in the ass later.
If it does, the mark will still show up a few days later.
I will do a quick flashback just for a second, because I said what your note was about, but I'm actually going to read it. This is the note that you found in the wall last night. It says,
Ada, they say time heals all wounds, but the pain I feel at losing you is as strong now as the day when I first received the news. I hate that I couldn't be with you, but I also cannot go on with this pain. I must try to heal. For this reason, I've buried your memories in the woods. If anyone ever finds this note, perhaps they'll locate and carry your memories with them. But I can no longer bear the heartache. I love you. Ewan.
so anyway, that's a quick flashback.
She is gonna bring up the note, and was there like a map or anything with it, or?
Yeah, it's simple. It looks like it's not too far from the watchtower, and as best you can tell, it looks like it was just kind of something he hid under the cutout of the roots of a tree or something.
Okay, she will show the note to her cousins and then say, I really want to honor this person's wishes and go look for it. You guys don't have to come with me, but it shouldn't be that far away. So even if you don't want to come, I shouldn't be gone long.
Have fun with that.
Firdaus, you hear from beside you. It's the bearded gnome that you lost last night.
That voice. It comforts me to know that you've reappeared, my friend.
Yeah, I took a big fall when you changed. That was not very pleasant. I still have a sore leg after that.
Excuse me, what happened? I changed?
You turned into a polar bear and I hit the ground pretty hard.
I have no memory of this.
Well, I don't really feel like trekking on it, so I'm just gonna hang here.
Okay, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't want you to hurt yourself further if you have a bad leg.
I would go with you.
Okay.
She's gonna hold her hand out to see if you'll give her the map.
Signe won't give her the map.
She's gonna study it for a while and then say, "We may need to shovel and axe."
It would appear that I am coming along then, huh?
I suppose we all would be.
I mean, if you want to come, Mads, you can if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna force you.
Well, I am not going to give you my axe or my shovel, so if they are going to come with you, they will have to be on my person.
Okay, Mads, thank you.
I'm not even sure. I feel a bit lightheaded. I had weird dreams last night.
Doesn't surprise me. You were pretty much blasted out of your skull, so I'm not surprised.
That was one of my dreams, ironically. And I remember being disemboweled and quite content to just hold my innards into my abdomen for safekeeping. And then they spilled out everywhere. And then I went swimming. Weird dream.
Mostly you just crawled upon me while I was fighting the Cyclops.
What?
Took much effort to keep him from killing you.
You already fought. How did it go?
I beat the shit out of him.
It was really
Literally,
impressive.
he shit his pants. It was very stinky.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
It was glorious. So it turns out I am the new champion here.
I will make sure to give a prayer of thanks to Ifki in my morning routine here.
I do not know who this Ifki is. Only the mountain deserves thanks.
Maybe Ifki can have a little thanks as a treat.
No, I don't think so.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree on that matter.
This is a fair compromise.
Can we save the theology for after we find this thing?
I believe I could do that.
And I know I can, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you care to learn, cousin?
No, I wouldn't.
The matter is settled then. Let us leave.
Oh my god. Okay. She's as we walk away, Signe is just repeating in her head like a mantra, I love my cousins. I love my cousins. I love my cousins.
The busker's gonna trail behind you guys simply because he's supposed to document everything, but he seems like he's pretty sleepy. The map clearly instructs you to head west, which means you're gonna pass the Smoke Tavern and the Drink Tavern, and you see the Cyclops sitting there at the bar and some people eating some breakfast. And then as you continue past those into the woods, whoever would like to handle the map can roll a survival check.
I'll do it. I'm good with survival. Alright, so that's 17 plus 6. So, what's that, 23?
Yeah, that's huge. You're able to not only make out the map clearly, but fortunately for you guys, the guy that did this gave landmark instructions that are ones that, they would stand the test of time. So like, the massive boulder, then go this many steps to the whatever. The only difference is that based on how he drew the map, it looks like the trees are pretty sparse and stuff that he's following. When you actually do it, it looks maybe like they're closer together because they've all grown so fat over this 80-year span. But you guys find it okay, and at least as best you can make out, it looks like the right kind of a tree. It's the right type that he wrote down, and it looks like you just need to cut away some of these roots and dig down inside.
Okay, let's do it. And Signe will, if Mads will let her, she'll take the shovel and start digging.
Yeah, Mads will let you have the shovel. The shovel is fine.
Okay.
This has grown considerably since he made this map, so you're going to have to chop a little bit to get underneath these roots.
If there is anything I am considerably good at, cousin, it is chopping.
I was going to ask if you wanted to do the chopping, because quite frankly, I don't trust myself.
I would love to do the chopping.
Thank you.
And Mads will giddily go over and start fucking chopping. He'll like sing as he's doing it.
Given your size, you guys are able to tear through this wood and dig deep into the ground. And it's not long before you hear the classic ka-chunk. And you wedge this box out, and it's clearly been waterlogged and weathered over the years, but he sealed it up pretty good. And when you crack it open, you see a few things, just little items about like you would expect for a memory box like this. One is a drawing of this woman Ada that he wrote the note to, and it's all rolled up in a tube. It's just kind of a graphite sketch, and it's been preserved pretty well. You find a ring. It's ornate, and it has the symbol of a garland of flowers, and this is common knowledge in the world of the giants, that this is the symbol for Iolanis, and she's the god of love and mercy.
Alright, writing that down.
You also find a lace glove, and a mostly evaporated vial of perfume, which is basically filled this box. So when you open it up, it hits you in the face. You're just like, wow, this is, daffodils or whatever the hell, I don't know, some kind of flower. And that's the contents of the box. You don't know how much currency has changed over these last 80 years, but you would assume that this ring, being as ornate as it is pretty pricey.
Is this like a giant's time capsule, or was it like some other smaller creature that...
It is, and the ring, based on the ring size, you see that it would fit on Signe's finger for sure, and she found it so high up in the bricks that a gnome would never have been able to reach it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody give me... It depends on how you would know this knowledge, but I think you could do Arcana or Religion.
I'll do an Arcana check. Oh, 23.
Like I said, this is kind of common knowledge, because this is one of the gods that's very normal in giant culture. Goddesses, excuse me. You would know that these rings, it could just be an ornate ring, and it's expensive in and of itself. But you were aware that there are times where if you find somebody who knows how to do the magic, specifically because you found it in a memory box, they're able to imbue this ring with memories. And with those memories, it could come with pain, because they're sad, or it could also come with knowledge, something that they learned or some skill they developed, they can put it in this ring so that the wearer would have that memory in their heads as long as they wear the ring. Unless you do further investigation, you can't tell which is the case, if this is just a normal ring or a magic ring, but you know that people do that for a big price.
Okay, Signe will turn to the rest of the group and say, so, the thing about rings like this is that for a certain price you can pay someone to imbue memories in them. And since the note said something about carrying memories with us, I'm kind of inclined to believe that this has memories in it. What kind? I don't know.
Why do you think these things are important, cousin?
I don't know. Somebody obviously cared enough to write so much about it, and they hoped somebody would find it one day.
Do you believe that if you put the ring on, that you would receive these memories?
Possibly. The only way to find out is to do it. She'll shrug.
It's truly fascinating.
This could be my only chance to experience something like this firsthand, and, fuck it, she'll slide it on.
I think it's a little big for you, but you could find a finger that it would fit on, and...
My thumb.
Yeah, exactly. You put this on, and nothing happens. At first. And then, as you start thinking back, you have these images in your head of laying in the grass. They're not super vivid. Mostly you just remember a blanket, a bottle of wine, a basket. It's a very classic scene. So this is where it gets a little weird, because you have this imagery as if you're a guy in this situation, and there's a girl before you, And the fondness you feel for her is extreme. I mean, it impacts you on a deep emotional level. And then the realization that you've lost her, it's heartbreaking. And it's almost more than you can bear. The depression sets in. And I'm going to tell you, mechanically speaking, what happens as a result of this depression and you loss of focus around you is that you have a -1 to con saves. You have a -2 to your charisma stats, all of them. However, with this heartbreak, you also get this knowledge of how to do a magic spell. Again, mechanically speaking, it's once per day you can cast the Power Word Heal spell.
Okay. Once. Alright. And so is the -2 like just to my regular stats, or so like I have a +2, would that become a +0, or would it become a -2?
It would become a +0.
Okay. And so, oh no, I only have a +8 to con.
There's the spell in the chat. It's a big one.
Holy shit.
Okay.
You can do it once per day, but you just feel like shit. Basically, you feel like a loved one died.
She feels this effect and then just like sits down on the ground. And she just goes, just give me a minute. There was a lot in that. And something definitely happened, but I also feel like I can do a lot of healing now. At least to one person.
You've gone a bit pale.
It feels like I just lost someone. This was definitely a...
Who took them? I will kill them, cousin. Do not worry. Anyone who has taken something from you will suffer drastic and very horrible defeat.
No, not like that. It feels like someone just... I haven't felt like this since before Mama died.
I am confused.
The memories in this made me feel like this person did, and just... Oh my god. She'll take off the ring and put it in her pocket.
As soon as you take off the ring, the knowledge and awareness that you had of how to do this spell, it's like you just can't remember it, but you still feel so sad. And the vision that you had of that park, it starts to get hazy, but it's like waking up from a dream where you can't remember the dream, but you're just so sad. Mechanically speaking, I'm going to tell you those negatives are going to last till the end of the day or a long rest.
I'm going to kneel down near her and then cast Druidcraft to have a slight breeze blow towards her, and it's going to have the smell of honeysuckle in the air to hopefully make her feel better.
Thank you, Firdaus.
No problem.
If the negatives are gonna last anyway, she'll put the ring back on, because I want to have the spell consequences be damned. So...
Why are you sad, cousin? I am still confused.
The memories in this ring made me feel sad.
We have a story on the mountain that might make you feel better if you'd like to hear it.
Does the story involve killing someone who wronged you?
It does not.
Okay. Go ahead and tell it if you'd like.
The boulders are often part of the mountain. And you can see them, you can climb upon them, you can feel their weight. When the boulder begins to roll and smash itself upon the mountain, eventually there is no boulder. But this boulder is now once again the mountain.
That's beautiful, Mads.
Creed is just jotting all this down as you speak it. His horrible spelling.
Thank you, Mads.
He'll come up and he'll kind of like motion to touch you, but he'll wait because he has such a thing about touching. So he'll wait for like a, hey, is it cool to like pat you on the shoulder kind of a thing?
She'll go, it's fine, it's fine.
And he will pat your shoulder and say, "This has given me countenance many times in my life."
Bogdana's gonna slump down next to you and say, I am sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I don't think it was mine, at least not this one. It just feels like it is.
Maybe you would feel better to get drink in you.
Okay, Signe will take out her water skin and take a drink.
I don't think that's the drink she's talking about, cousin.
It's not?
Mads will grab some of the wine from his water skin and hand it over.
Signe will take a few drinks.
It's incredibly strong.
Okay.
And if you'd like, I have some herb that I purchased from a store yesterday. I've yet to try it out, but I think it might be pretty good.
No, I can't get crossed. It's too early.
Which, by the way, it's the stuff that he definitely tried and just doesn't remember.
Okay, she hands Mads back his wineskin and stands up. How big is this box?
Oh, it's just like a jewelry box.
She'll put the note in the box and then put the box in her pack to carry all the memories around.
Okay.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm getting a bit hungry. If I might head back to town.
Signe, are you ready to return?
Yeah.
The fat bard is always hungry. As you guys head back into town, that tavern has filled up more than when you left, and it's probably sunwise, reaching about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And the Cyclops is still sitting at the bar, kind of nursing some of his bruises. The smoke shop's looking more barren than the drink shop.
I'm gonna go and sit next to the Cyclops.
As you approach him, you hear him talking to Demeuse, the bartender lady.
And does he say, "You know, I really did it this time"?
He's saying,
Champy want moon drink.
and she's saying, "Don't blame me. I was trying to protect you." If you sit down next to him, he's going to look at you and say,
You have moon drink.
I don't know what that is that you're talking about.
"He's sad because I gave away all of my moonshine."
Well, I bought that, did I not?
"No, I didn't have any left when you came by. I gave it all to those bastards, the Tieflings, yesterday afternoon."
Wait, I thought... Hold on.
"You asked for an ale. I gave you my strongest one."
I think we were looking for Tieflings.
"Why would you be looking for Tieflings? Here, of all places."
Well, it would seem we've come to the right place since you have served them.
"They don't normally come by here. That's why I gave them the moonshine so they would leave. We can't afford to have them see our champion. They could shut down our entire operation."
I thought I was the champion now.
Champy, no champy?
Unless you are going to beat me into a pulp anytime soon, I do not believe you are the champion no more.
He stands up to his full height, which is, now that you're sitting on a stool, just as tall as you are, and he looks you in the eye and he says,
You want fight, champy?
If that is what you desire, I could do it again.
You see him pause and put a finger to his chin and look down. Then he says,
No,
he sits on the stool.
champy just want moon drink.
Well, Champy, I do not believe you are going to get any time soon. So perhaps you should develop a taste for something weaker.
His bottom lip sticks out. She rolls her eyes and she says, "What do you want with those tieflings anyway? I thought giants hated tieflings."
I think you are starting to draw the connection yourself. They came to our town. They did some things that we would rather not discuss. And we are on their tails.
Well, you're lagging a bit behind. They weren't... It was shortly after lunchtime yesterday that they passed through. They just asked for several bottles of moonshine and didn't even bother coming into town, so I had to deliver it to them, and they paid well enough, so I just thought I'll get rid of them and I can wait and get a shipment later.
What direction did you see they were heading?
South, towards the Great Marsh.
Sounds like our tieflings.
They had 4 oxen carrying their car. There was just the 2 of them.
The load looked heavy, yes?
Yes, they didn't have much room for the moonshine, but they insisted I stock their cart full with as much as I could muster.
I need to go and speak with my cousins. Thank you for this information.
You're not going to have breakfast?
It is more important that I speak with my cousins, and we will decide what to do next from there.
Very well. Well, come back if you need anything.
All right. And Mads will go and find his cousins.
As you're leaving, she looks a little crestfallen that she didn't get a huge fortune trying to feed 3 big giants. 3 plus 2.
I'm walking around the outside of the town, and I'm like taking note of all the plants and stuff in the area, like sort of cataloging them and stuff.
Whoever is closer, I would go to first. So if that's Signe, I would go to Signe.
Signe is probably just sitting like on the steps in front of the watchtower, trying way too hard to figure out what kind of flower this is, while simultaneously being too proud to ask Firdaus.
I have found a trail for our tiefling friends.
You found a trail? How? Where?
The bartender delivered moonshine to them yesterday, around lunchtime.
Moonshine. So, are we sure it was the right tieflings? Firdaus, get over here.
Yes.
There were 2 with a cart of 4 oxen, incredibly heavy cargo.
Oh yeah, that's them.
Yes, they are heading towards the marsh still.
Okay.
This is great news.
Perhaps we will not be staying here a second night.
As you say that, a gnome walks up to your party with a device in his hand and he says, "Capture a memory for ya?" And he holds it up, and it's the same leather-built device. It's like leather and wood and intricate mechanics that you saw when you first left your big city. You remember it as the camera, except you thought it captured people's souls.
No, I'm gonna flick the camera out of his hands. Like, I'm gonna flick that motherfucker as far as I can possibly flick it.
The camera flies away from the watchtower steps and smashes against a far building wall, and you see his entire countenance fall. And he says, "Well, that's a small fortune down the drain."
You will not steal our souls today, gnome.
He became incountenant.
I was going to capture your memory with the new champion for a fee.
What do you mean capture a memory? You would take our memories?
This is worse than trying to take our soul.
Hang on, let the gnome explain.
I was going to preserve them for you. It's like a very advanced painting or a sketch instantly, and now I have to tell my wife that, oh, she didn't believe that this was a good career for me to take, and now it's broken.
It would turn out she was correct, as someone has smashed your career.
Wait a minute.
There used to be a saying in the Darlingskeg as to not to put all of your snakes in one basket.
I'm going to have to sleep in the watchtower for this.
Snakes get very ornery. You should not keep them in the same basket.
That is very true.
Hang on, wait. Can I look at the... Can I, go pick up the pieces and just, investigate it?
You're gonna be gone for a few minutes. He launched this thing far.
She's gonna be like, I'll be back, just give me a minute. And she's gonna go over.
gonna be like searching for the Dragon Balls.
You walk like a block down the road, and most of it's held together pretty well. There's a few pieces scattered about, but you can find them.
She'll take it back to the gnome. And she'll say, so this just produces like an instant portrait?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to re-imbue it with this conjuration magic, but the light goes in the lens there, the glass, and then it comes out on the paper.
So interesting. She's like, is this like a regular human holding up like a Barbie camera?
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, it's so delicate. It's a wonderful piece of machinery and magic.
I got word that they were making them in a few towns over and making huge shipments down to Skazakus, but this was my first one. I just built it.
Perhaps we can test its soul-stealing capabilities.
Putting a pin in the fact that you built it, which is very cool. Yeah, sure. Try to steal my soul with it.
Well, no, not your... Of course we wouldn't go straight to a giant soul. I mean, like, I wouldn't even start it on gnomes. Let's take this bush over here.
The bushes have souls?
Yeah, of course they do. What, is that even a question? Or...
Hey, you didn't have to be a dick about it. I just asked a question.
I like look around to everybody else, like and just like just see if anybody agreed with me, and like I get nothing. Is the device prepared to work now, or is it too broken?
The gnome takes a look at the device and he starts trying to kind of fit it all back into place, and he goes, I can kind of get it all to click back together, but like I said, I don't know if we'll have the magic or not. He's gonna hand it up to you.
Alright, I'm going to go up to like a mulberry bush or something like that, and then cast Speak with Plants.
Oh, okay.
Hello, friend. I am Firdaus. These are my cousins and some traveling companions, and then a man with a very special magical device that we are going to be performing an experiment with, and we would like your help. Would you say right now that you have a very spirited feeling about you? The answer is yes. Great, okay. Now we're going to shoot this thing at you. Would you like to do the honors? And he hands it back to the gnome. And I stand far out of the way of this thing.
Okay, let's see. He's gonna fiddle with it.
You'll be quick about it. This spell doesn't last forever.
He adjusts the focus. This thing is pretty advanced. Clearly he's poured a lot of his heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into this thing, and then he focuses and he puts it up to his eye. Give me a high or low.
Low.
Oh, shit. That was fucking close. I rolled a 47. It sputters a little bit, and then the picture comes out the front, and he kind of waves it in the air and then looks at it, and the mulberry bush says,
Again!
You want us to do it again?
Yeah!
What did it feel like?
Mulberry?
Interesting. I take out my little notebook and I jot that down. and then I turn to the gnome. I'm like, well, you heard the bush.
It's coming to... He's waving it in the air again and then looking at it, and you see the picture starting to emerge on the paper.
I guess I don't have to sleep in the watchtower tonight.
What's wrong with sleeping in the watchtower? That's where we all slept.
If I sleep in the watchtower, it means my wife might leave me.
Oh, interpersonal relationships.
Well, That's beyond my way. He tips his hat to you and clearly walks a wide circle.
You're forgetting something.
Huh?
I do believe the bush asked to be filmed a second time.
It did?
Yes, it did.
Mads will menacingly get closer to make sure that he's going to take care of the request.
Yes, sir. He doesn't even focus or anything this time. He just spins around, snaps a picture, and it waves it in the air, and it comes out completely blurry. And he says, "Oh, there you go."
Okay. Well, we best be going, Barry. It's been very nice to meet you, and very enlightening, this situation.
Yeah.
And I reach out and I shake one of his branches.
God.
Toodaloo.
The little gnome has scurried off as you were doing that, and you guys are left to your own.
That was fascinating.
Cousins, we have much more important business at hand. Are we going to get after these tieflings immediately, or are we going to stay here for longer?
Ah, yes, let us take leave, but I will document this momentous occasion of us finding out that those devices do not steal souls.
Don't forget to go and get your gnome from the tower.
Ah, yes. And I just I scuttle away quickly.
Mads will turn to Signe and he will say,
Cousin, it gives me great happiness to know that your leg is healed and you will no longer die in our company.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't like I said, remember, I wasn't planning on dying. And I know what you're gonna say.
No one
ever
plans to
does.
die.
Yes, but that's the thing. If you don't plan to die, then that means it's not looming over you constantly. I'm just saying, I didn't plan to die, and I didn't. So, but thank you. Yes, I'm glad my leg is healed too.
Can I tell you a story, Signe?
Sure.
This one does involve killing people.
Okay. Go ahead.
You see, Signe, sometimes you are a village at the base of the mountain and you begin removing trees from places that you are not welcome to do so. And perhaps a giant should happen upon a snow pile, and perhaps he should start chopping the tree line that is keeping the snow pile upon the mountain. And perhaps the entire town becomes buried. That town thought they were fine.
Okay.
You can see Creed's hand cramping up as he's scribbling all this down, and he's shaking it.
So this is one of those stories about always expecting the unexpected.
This is one of those stories about how most things want to kill you, Signe.
Yes.
That's the end of the parable. Most things want to kill you.
That pause just kind of hangs in the air, and then you can hear Firdaus clambering back up to you guys, and he's got his pocket gnome with him, and he's telling him the story of the mulberry bush. And so that's when the bush said that it felt mulberry, which I believe means it felt great. That it got a sense of pride from this device's capturing of the moment, a sort of instant form of nostalgia.
And this all took place all around the mulberry bush.
All around it. Yeah, and conveniently all along the watchtower, too.
Well, what was in the box? Do you find the box? Something about memory box?
Yes. She'll turn to Mads and say, "Thank you for the parable, Mads. I'll remember that."
Good. I hope you will. Remember, cousin, few will love and care for you like your blood.
I know, Mads. Thank you.
He'll nod.
And she'll bend down and take the box out and open it up to show the gnome what's inside. And she'll also show him the ring.
Don't think it would fit me.
Maybe as a belt.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I mean, I don't think that you want it. It's kind of a bummer to wear.
Well, I got plenty in me. They were delivering some free samples over at the watchtower, so I'm pretty satiated.
I'm ready to go when y'all are.
Okay, I'm ready when you guys are. So the plan is that we continue heading south, correct?
Well, I've been given information about the meeting place. I figure we should probably try and figure out where that is and then follow the trail if we can.
The barmaid said that they were heading towards the marsh?
Yes.
Okay. They do have a day on us, but we're much faster than them.
This is true, and their cart is much heavier.
That's true.
I'm getting a feeling from Fial that we should continue on this path, that we are making the right decision.
Do you have another gnome in your pocket? Who is Fial?
The god of mountains.
There is only one mountain god, and that is the mountain.
We can agree to disagree on that, cousin.
Fair enough.
Your mountain was delightful, but it chooses not to speak to me from day to day, unlike Fial does.
I feel as though you just haven't spent enough time with it.
Perhaps not.
Maybe when all of this is done, I will try and show you what the mountain actually is.
I would enjoy that greatly. And that just reminded me of the... when all this is done, you and me should get an apartment together.
On the road again, eh?
On the road again?
Yep. Stealing plant souls on the road again.
Chasing tieflings on the road.
You guys go towards the kind of service road that passes by this watchtower that they talked about mail deliveries and such. Again, there's a lot of wagon trails and things in this muddy dirt path. And as you head south, you kind of merge paths with a gnome on horseback. And he's kind of hesitant at first, but he's seen you around. He was at the fight last night, so he's gonna say, "Hello.
Hello.
Good day.
You heading south?"
Yes, we are.
Why would you ask such a silly question?
Just making conversation. I'm heading south myself.
Why would you not ask about our well-being or something that was actually going to lead to more conversation as opposed to... Or perhaps you could have led with the fact that you are also going south, although we can tell this by looking at the direction that you are going. So actually, I don't believe that we would like to keep pace with you because you seem poor company.
Is your being well?
It is. How is yours?
Good enough. A little nervous. You headed to Skazicus?
To Whaticus?
Skazicus?
I still cannot pronounce anything you are saying.
The great city of Skazicus. That's how this entire town got started. They sent some servants down to Skazicus. Apparently, you send servants down there to work and then they'll ship a lot of supplies and riches back to your poor town to make it rich and wealthy. That's what I'm gonna do anyway.
That seems insane and like a scam.
Well, apparently it's just taking one for the team, I guess. I don't have any relatives back home, so it's not like I'm leaving anything behind. I figure, I'll go work hard and make something of myself, and then my town will be taken care of.
But how do you know that that's going to be the case while you're enslaved?
Well, that's what they told me happened here at the watchtower, that they sent someone down there and then they started seeing a lot of goods and supplies.
Signe, could you please do me a favor and tell this man about the town at the base of the mountain with the tree chopping? Please, it's very important he hears this.
Yes, man. I'll say it.
Parable telephone edition.
Yeah. So, this is a parable, right? This is a parable about tree chopping at the base of a mountain. So, there's a village at the base of a mountain, right? And they cut down trees that they weren't supposed to cut down. And they ended up getting buried in an avalanche.
Don't forget that a giant that was definitely not me caused the avalanche to teach the lesson.
And the giant that was definitely not him caused the avalanche to teach townsfolk a lesson.
Well, that was a mighty good story, but I'm afraid I don't really understand. Am I the village? The tree?
Yes, you are the village.
I'm gonna get avalanched?
Probably.
Well, I don't know why the Tieflings would much want to avalanche me. I never did anything to them.
Here's the thing. We have not done much to them, and they have infiltrated and tried to steal our souls, among other things.
Your souls?
Yes, this is a very serious matter, which is why we are hunting them.
Well, if they're so bad, how do you explain all the way this watchtower grew into a bustling city? I've been here before, and it was a poor town.
It doesn't seem as though the Tieflings had anything to do with that. We were near the watchtower and stayed there for a day or two. I defeated their champion, and the only thing that we discovered while we were there is that the Tieflings give them wide berth.
I don't think they visit the towns that they help out. They just deliver supplies, and the town can do whatever they want.
They definitely do not deliver supplies, they only buy them.
Well, that don't make no kind of sense.
Are you calling me a liar?
No, sir. I'm just trying to figure out. I've already come a long ways. I think I should maybe just see this through, because they tell me that they get supplies, and I sure would like to help my town out. It's not like anyone thought anything of me, but they'll sure change their minds if I can help them out. I'll make something of myself.
You will die a slave.
Though I hope you're not right about that. Hey, you wouldn't want to come with me, would you, and just, like, bodyguards?
I mean, we are heading the same direction.
And I do enjoy killing tieflings.
I do need to point out you have severely slowed your pace trying to walk with this dude on his horse.
How big is the horse and how big is the dude?
Right? Like, come on.
He's a gnome, so it's more like a fucking pony.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is I can carry him like a football. Horse and all.
Yeah, you got a pocket and a open hand.
Let's ask. Can we ask first? She'll bend down and she'll be like, "Listen, so we were traveling pretty fast, and keeping pace with you and your pony is a little bit of an issue. Would you mind terribly if we carried you two?"
Carry us how?
Just open the hand. Like, you see, I have this little, and she keeps Gygax in a pocket, her little raccoon. And she's like, you see how I keep my raccoon in this pocket? So, like, you could ride with him, and I could just, like, holster your horse or something.
Yeah, you better holster him. I wouldn't want him defecating in your pocket.
Especially not with you in it.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
I guess I'll get there quicker.
We'll just add that onto the payment schedule.
It's not so bad. Riding in a pocket. It's kind of comfy, actually. You go real fast and well taken care of, and you can see a long ways.
We'll probably just ask you to sign off on any of the spoils once we murder all of these slavers.
Well, alright then. I guess. As long as... And you guys, Mads. You know, as long as y'all are gonna be good to me, I guess it's better having giants on my side.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I see no reason to do you any harm.
Okay then. Yeah, let Signe pick him up and pocket him.
Alright, now Mads has to get a fucking pocket monster.
Can we take turns, like, tossing the horse between each other, like, playing catch?
Hacky sack with the horse?
Oh my god.
No, that would hurt it. Like, I'm just talking about, you know, just toss, you know, playing catch.
Matt, would you like to carry the horse?
No!
Would you like to carry Gygax?
No! I am fine for now. I will find someone who also worships the mountain but might be smaller than I. And I too will carry them in my pocket.
Okay, Mads, that's a good thing for you to aspire to.
You can always borrow mine if you'd like.
I do not want your pity friend pocket. Thank you very much, Firdaus.
With a shot.
A pity pocket friend is really no friend at all, Firdaus. You must know that in your heart.
I still think he's a great friend. And I kind of like use my pinky to sort of fist bump little pocket gnome.
Your friend is not one of pity. It is one that you have gained through justice and righteousness.
I guess I make no distinction about the friend in a pocket and their origin of pity or not. I don't know how to form this thought completely, but it still holds true in my mind.
You guys keep pressing on, and some days go by without incident. As far as I know, I'm actually going to have you roll survivals real quick, and please put them in the chat.
Oh, jeez. Or what's rapidly becoming seen as Bryce. Oh, no. Sick.
How warm is it where we are?
You guys would have been shedding clothing along the way, because it's like moving from the Pacific Northwest down to California.
Oh, okay. Because, we don't deal with heat very well, so...
It's not scorching hot, it's just like you wouldn't be wearing the same number of layers.
Yep.
Creed rolled like shit. Okay. Fuck, Mads. Okay, here's what happens. You guys make camp one night, and Creed was out kind of scavenging for some food, berries, whatever, and he excitedly comes back and he says, "Well, I found some berries." And he approaches Mads, and because Mads is tending to the fire, and he says, "You think these'll do for you?" And he hands them to you. It's a big cluster he cut off this bush.
I only eat meat.
Well, it'll be good for the rest of us. And he excitedly, kind of shoves them into your hands. And Mads, you immediately see signs on these berries, like vibrant colors on the leaves, and you get a sick feeling in your stomach that these are probably really poisonous. And as soon as you notice that, you look down at his hands, and they're already starting to turn a color of red against the firelight.
I'm gonna throw the berries into the fire.
Oh, never thought about roasting berries. Interesting.
Don't touch them anymore, you moron.
Huh?
I think they're poisonous.
Oh, shit. And he looks down at his hands, and you see them starting to break out pretty severely. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I had no idea. I thought you might know what to do with them.
I hope you did not eat any of them.
No, I thought you might know how to prepare them. I just cut a cluster off and was going to give it to you. I was excited. I thought I did some great wilderness thing.
Please be quiet. You are making my head hurt.
Is everything okay over there?
Our friend Creed is trying to poison us, but only accidentally.
My hands are itching mighty fierce.
Oh, no. Hang on. I think I might be able to do some artificer bullshit to fix this.
And this whole time while this is going on, Firdaus has not been paying attention, and he's been sort of writing runes into the sand around the fire, and then occasionally throwing little droplets of water in it. It looks like he's trying to figure something out, and it's just not working.
Mads is gonna go up to Firdaus, and he's gonna say, Cousin, I need you to help me with discovering some game. We are running short on rations, and I believe we must hunt. I don't believe it has to happen this evening, but...
There's no time as good as the present. They say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
Damn.
You are wise beyond your years, cousin. Very wise.
Some have said, but yet I still can't make this work. And he takes his foot and just kicks the runes out of that he kind of carved into the dirt and covers them up.
Signe, would you like to go on a hunt with us?
Hunting? I think that would be fun. I've never been hunting before.
Mads will hand you a javelin. Come!
She doesn't even know how to hold it. She does that thing where like kind of has her arms wrapped around it. She's got no idea.
I will remain here and tend to the fat bard.
Thank you, Bogdana.
And also I was incorrect. I can't do any artificer bullshit.
Mads, your hands are starting to get splotchy.
I would like to try and lay on hands on my own hands.
He just clasps them together.
It's like when Bart was trying to do the one-hand clapping thing on The Simpsons.
Does healing them work or no?
Yeah, you'll be fine. You see it start to clear up immediately.
Fucking paladin bullshit. I'm into it.
But Creed is over there by the fire, just itching away so fiercely at his hands.
Should I go try to heal him before we leave?
No, he must learn his lesson.
You can see Bogdana tending to him, doing whatever it is she's doing.
Okay, good. Bogdana's looking after him. That's good. That's good.
It's not dark, it's kind of dusk. It's like blue sky, like it's gonna get dark soon, but you guys can do what you're gonna do.
I've never been hunting before. I think this is going to be very exciting.
It's actually incredibly boring, usually, for most of the time, until that one
We're
moment.
going to drive game, Firdaus. We have the beautiful advantage of you, who can transform into animals. So the plan is you're going to circle around to the east, and Signe and I will continue going south. We'll find a thicket up ahead, perhaps maybe a quarter of a mile, and we will stop and we will find Blind. You try and lead any stags that you can our direction.
Well, just make sure not to hit me.
Well, yes, you'll be a doe.
Oh.
Yes, you're getting my plan now, aren't you?
I'm getting it. I'm not exactly liking it. We used a much different method down in the Darlingskag. But, if this is how you wish to hunt, I guess I'll oblige.
I'm just trying to be quick about it, sir.
And, yeah, I cast, B-shape and turn into a doe. And I will head out east around, to the far side of the thicket.
You're kind of in the hybrid section between the normal wooded forests and where it starts to get a little swampy, so there's still a few woodsy trees, but then you're also seeing some vines, and the ground is kind of getting mushy with some watery spots. And
Every once in a while I'm gonna make the sort of doe noises and stuff.
what are we gonna roll for you here? What do you think?
Seems like it would be a deception, but it's also... It could also be animal handling.
This is kind of your hunt, Mads. What are you thinking?
I think animal handling is a really good, like, off-the-wall kind of idea.
Let's do it.
Alright. 14 plus 3. 17.
Oh shit. You've had plenty of experience in your transformations to kind of not just look like the animal, but learn its ways. You've been a druid long enough to study how these things work, and deer is such a common one. And so, Firdaus, you, even though it's not necessarily in season, you can kind of manipulate your wild shape to go into heat or whatever the deer do, and you know, your pheromones go out, and you're just kind of, it's a waiting game at this point. So while you're off doing that, Mads and Signe, what are you guys doing?
Signe, there are a few things that you must know before these stags get closer.
Okay.
First, where their front leg is, you're going to aim just behind center mass. If you pierce the lungs or the heart, you will stop them, and they will die, and we will go and finish them humanely. However, you must be careful not to be low. Low will just wound them. They will still not survive, but we will never find them. This is the ultimate disgrace as a hunter. We don't wound.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that you must understand is, were this bigger game we were hunting, Sometimes you must wait for them to bleed out, because you cannot be too careful. Hooves and horns and things of those natures, they will tear you limb from limb. But these creatures are small. We will cut their throats, or step on their heads, and roast their meat and give thanks to the mountain for it.
Okay. Like I said, I've never been hunting before, so all of this is news to me.
We will see how you do. I am confident you will do well. And we will wait.
Give me a high or low real quick.
Low.
Okay, cool. Firdaus, it takes a while. You guys are waiting at least an hour or two into the night. And then, with your doughy ears, you're able to pick up the sound of something stirring off in the distance to the trees.
This is the part I was fearing. Okay, don't get too close, you fucking horny bastard. Just follow me. And I'll start, like, sort of, slowly going towards where I need the stag to follow me to.
Okay, roll me another animal handling now that you've drawn one in.
Alright, that is not as good. It's a 5 plus 3, so an 8.
As you start to move, the stirring in the distance stops. Then it takes off running. Which direction did you go from the people?
Me? East. I just did what Mads had suggested.
I'll say one is north, so then I do and we'll go clockwise. Yeah, it starts heading north, completely away from the group. Yeah, you guys are out of luck. This thing did not buy the deception. It took off running.
Alright, I'm gonna start running after it.
Oh, okay. Give me athletics with your deer stats.
Alright. That was just a 12.
Okay. You're kind of making pace with this deer, and you're ducking under branches, and you're leaping over roots, and it's easy enough for you in this form to navigate through the night, but you can follow his scent. This goes on for about, roll a con save.
That was a lot better. 17, and this is still as the deer. Con is plus 0, yeah.
You're only able to keep pace with it. It must be a fairly large size, and you can wild shape yourself, to try and match pace. But what it doesn't have on you is your endurance to keep running. And so after several minutes of just an all-out sprint, you can sense that his rustling and the smell of it is getting stronger and closer. And what would you like to do? What's your game plan as you start to come up on this deer as it's getting winded?
So as it starts to slow down, I'm going to drop my form as deer, and then I can move faster as a giant, and I'm gonna just like gain the rest of the distance as the giant just reach down and grab it.
As soon as you become the giant, you lose all perception of where this deer was. All you know is that it was in front of you. You don't know how far, you don't know. And so you're scanning in the darkness with your dark vision. Give me a perception check at disadvantage.
All right.
Unless you want to, if you have a light on you, you could light a light, but this is with your bare eyes. Bare eyes.
Yeah, that is a 7 plus 3, so only a 10.
You know that he's right there, but the way that bucks blend into their environment, it's like he could be laying right in front of you in the dark, and it would be difficult for you to tell. What would you like to do?
Oh, well, shit. I beast form again, this time into a panther. And pick up the smell and start chasing it again.
It's not gonna run for long. The buck starts to get winded, and you're able to come up from behind and do the classic nature documentary with the claws and on its back and taking it down and biting at its thighs. And eventually you fell this buck. The way that animals do, he just kind of accepts it. He lays down and let you take over.
as soon as it's down, I'm gonna, like, kind of circle around to its neck and then just, bite down really hard on its throat until it stops moving.
The deer stops.
And then I'm just gonna start, pulling it along the way, like, as panthers do. Pull it towards their
You're not
campsite.
gonna go back to you're not gonna turn into a giant?
Oh, my adrenaline was running as the panther, and this, just feels really good in the moment and everything. So,
Mads and Signe, you hear the leaves rustling, and down below you, you can spot this panther dragging a huge fucking buck behind it. It's maybe a little bigger than a panther. It seems like he's adapted his size to be able to lug this thing behind him.
I will go over and grab the buck and, lift it up.
yeah, I release it when he comes over to grab it. Yep.
You're just like a little dog hanging onto a toy.
Yeah, and like, as he does grab it and start walking away, I kind of like catch back up to him and I kind of rub on his legs like a cat rubs on you while you're walking.
As we're walking, though, I'll take out a knife and I will very carefully start field dressing it. And then, as I do it, though, I will also cut around the hooves with the knife, and just in a couple of easy motions, because of how strong I am as a giant, I will just completely take the entire hide off of this thing in a couple of easy tugs.
Yeah, that's no big deal. This thing's about the size of a medium dog to you.
So that's what field dressing looks like.
Normally you do not remove the skin for field dressing, but this animal is small enough that we can manage, so it is good to be ready when we get back.
It's very interesting.
Do either of you have anything that sort of hangs off of you as you walk?
Signe's got she's got tassels on her boots, and those probably hang off.
Yeah, I'm gonna be swatting at those things like crazy.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Oh, that's right, you can talk in beast form.
That was established. We rolled for it.
Firdaus, can you stop playing with my boots, please?
Just a little longer. I can't help myself when I'm in this form.
Here, Gygax, go back to camp. Chase Gygax.
I bolt after it.
Just don't destroy him, please.
You hear no answer. It just disappears into the bushes.
I'm going to imagine that was Firdaus' way of saying no promises.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna regret that. Oh well, as long as the jewel inside them doesn't go missing, I can fix it. Oh, he's gonna be so mad at me.
I just wonder, cousin, why has it been so long since we have seen each other?
Don't know. Really, I mean, I have been away from the mountains for a long time.
I feel as though oftentimes we find walls in our way, walls that we do not remember constructing ourselves, and I wish to break these walls down. This is good.
Do you usually break your walls down, Mads? Or is this more of a one-time only thing?
This is definitely sort of a one-time only sort of thing.
I'm glad it was here. I'm glad that I was here for it.
I too am glad. I worry, though. I fear that we will not all return from this journey.
I think that we all have a decent chance of coming back, but I feel like something is brewing, if that makes sense.
There is only one thing that I would ask of you, cousin. If I die far away from my home, please return me to the mountain. A boulder who breaks apart so far cannot rejoin.
I will, Matt.
Thank you, cousin.
You guys return to camp, and Bogdana has Creed's hands all wrapped up in bandages, and she's roasting some herbs and things she found on a piece of metal over the fire, just very makeshift. And so you guys come strolling in with this huge honk of meat, and for the first time in at least a couple days, you guys have yourself a medium dog-sized feast. The Giants March is a production by the Time to Die Podcast Network. It's one of our many different stories. If you'd like to find out more, visit timetodiерpg.com. If you're enjoying the show, we would be ever so grateful for a review on your favorite podcatcher, or a shout out on social media. Post about us on Reddit or Twitter, share us with a friend, whatever you can do to let people know that we exist and that you think our shows are worth a listen. If you would like to support us financially, you can pledge monthly at patreon.com/timetodiерpg, or you can give us a one-time donation at ko-fi.com/timetodiерpg. Want to hang out with us? We have a Discord server. The link is in the episode description, or you can find it at our Time to Die website. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at timetodiерpg. Find us on Reddit at r/timetodiерpg. Tim, who plays Mads, is on Twitter at IdaGrabYourGun. Chris, who plays Firdaus, is on Twitter at ChrisRileyLCP. Aubree, who plays Signe, is on Twitter at AubreeGray1. That's AubreeGray, and the number 1. And I, Brian Bridges, the GM of this campaign, am on Twitter at ManlyBrian. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Giants March.